So I don't know if you're aware, but you can use face-to-face to broadcast, to transmit right into YouTube Live. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning as well, is this will be totally live, and you're totally welcome to join the show and come in and chat with me, as you'll see Tim will do. And if you missed the show, or if you want to see it again afterwards, I mean, who wouldn't? This is awesome stuff. Then you can go to our YouTube channel, and you can watch the video there. All right, listen, it's 10:01, and good morning. It's June 8th. Well, good morning for me. It's could be evening or afternoon, wherever you happen to be. If you got a keyboard handy, just get into that chat and just let us know where you are. I see Tom McKay's up and at 'em. It's noontime in Texas. Tom's down in just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. And so, yeah, let us know where you are. We've got a very interesting show today. Morning, Murray. We got a very interesting show today. And let's get right into it. Let me just see what slides I've got up here. Oh, yeah, by the way, at the bottom right-hand corner of your monitor, you'll see some of these buttons. Feel free right now to send it a Twitter or a Facebook, and send it a tweet or a Facebook message or something like that, and invite other people in to see the show. This is a picture of what my friend Tim Pippus is up to, and we're going to bring him in just a second. But I just wanted to show you that this little sweetheart here is her name is Helen. And Helen is clearly a hummingbird, and we've been videoing her. Well, we haven't, but Tim has been videoing Helen for the last week. So I'm going to bring Tim in right now, and he can tell us all about it. So Tim, ready or not, here you come. There he is. Hey, dude.
Hi, Alex. Ooh, looks like I'm a little out of focus here. Live TV.
Could even take a cup of coffee. There you go. Cameras catch you. Yeah. So, hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's been quite a week. I used to have computer science and video marketing clients chase me around, and now I've got little things that are the size of my fingernail that are actually running my life. When you first start looking at this video account, you start thinking that it's the mother hummingbird who's the star of the show. It's really the little guys in the nest, and they're so precious and they're so vulnerable. I've taken on worrying about my cat, my goats, and now these two little guys in the nest. Every once in a while, I think you're going to see me avert my eyes off to the side of the screen here, because I've got them. I'm monitoring a lot my own live feed coming out through the same internet connection that I'm broadcasting to you on.
Wow!
And I'm watching them live. It's crazy, man. It's just amazing what's going on. So I'm concerned about my little ones, and yes, I do have a very little family. Thanks.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit of what's been happening over the last week. Like, what happened? Where did Helen come from, and how did you manage to get that camera sitting there beamed in on her?
Okay. Oof. Long story. I'm wordy. Cut me off anytime you like. I guess that's verbose. Here we go. I'm good friends with a couple just down the street from my house. I live on the south face of a mountain called Bear Mountain at the top of Mission, BC, just about an hour out of Vancouver. I had a meeting scheduled with them. I popped by their house, and I came toward the front door like I usually do, and they said, "Go away." And I thought, what did I do to him? I owe him money. I don't think he wants me to leave that fast. Anyway, so he directed me around through the back entrance to his house, and I don't know. I didn't even ask why did you send me away? Because I was instantly captured by what he had in his living room. He had in his living room a big screen TV And because Chris is a former TV producer and we do a lot of video work together, it didn't really surprise me. It would probably alarm a lot of people, but there was a broadcast cam pointing at his television set in the middle of his living room. Just Chris. Anyway, and on the TV, it looked like a geographic a nest, and it was kind of, a nest. And I'm just looking at that, and that was interesting. And a few seconds later, this hummingbird buzzes into the frame.
Wow.
And I was stunned. Like, where is that? I said, my front porch. Anyway, like, okay, you just had a story where to land on your front porch, and I've got to go and tell somebody. I cannot let a story like that, a great news story like that, go waste. So my co-friend, who I knew you, and I knew that you were working on this new technology, and I thought, content is king. And if you're looking at drawing any sort of viewers, have something like an eagle cam, have something like I think this sets a new standard for bird cams. I'm told that hummingbirds are very rarely seen at rest. I think that's why an awful lot of us go out and get hummingbird feeders so we can do the little things. I mean, it's really neat to see birds fly. Birds are super, but the hummingbird, because it's a little helicopter. We just are all captivated.
I've got a hummingbird feeder outside. I've got a hummingbird feeder outside my my porch, and I've never seen the kind of thing that, let me just get up here. I've never seen this kind of thing. I've got some video just to show people what's going on here. So this is a still of what you've been shooting. This is the Hummingbird Nest right here. And people, I don't know if you can see, but there's two little fellas in there. And this is a Canadian toonie $2 coin, which is 28 millimeters or 1.1 inches in diameter. You could see you could actually cover that. And I'm just going to roll this video. So you and I are live, and we're going to roll some video here, just so people can see what's going on.
This is Helen's nest on Chris knows his front porch. Just keep watching.
Yeah, and so they're just sitting there calmly. Oh,
there's Helen.
And instantly, their little beaks are up and open, and big orange beaks. Whoops, and wow. That's unbelievable. So you've been watching that now for a week.
Yeah, I've been watching it for a week, and I'm still amazed every time Helen swoops in. The hum is heard by the baby long before the mom picks it up, and they start moving around. You just know. And then once you see the move, then you hear the hum, and then she's feeding them like this. And I tell you, I sure wouldn't want to be a big hummingbird. Whew, that'd be a scary thing having it come down my throat.
That is a sore swallow. I mean, that's just unbelievable. That thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And so what have you been able to do? So you're transmitting this using face-to-face, but I mean, what else can you do? I hear that Helen was named after somebody in Amsterdam. Were you able to get Helen in Amsterdam in to meet Helen the hummingbird?
Goodness, yes. Helen does live in Amsterdam. She's my girlfriend's aunt, and she's unwell right now. And so my girlfriend visited Amsterdam, and she's been sort of keeping tabs on what the heck is Tim up to now. And we arranged for her to call in on a face-to-face broadcast. And Helen, the real Helen, I guess they're all real Helens. Helen Helen the auntie, and Helen the bird, and me and Deb. We were all on face-to-face live. Them sitting on the couch, Helen on the nest, and me sitting here in the studio. And it was really interesting just to have some back and forth with them and just be in close contact and share what's on the front porch.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. Listen, Tim, I've got a couple of people that are.
I can see you working those same switches that I work throughout the day. Yeah. One of the things I do is I bring in a slide off one of my screens, and we can get the overlay to basically identify my broadcast for people to see where I'm broadcasting from and be able to click on and go through our website. Always looking to drive traffic to our community TV station, our internet magazine and mission here. There you go. And then be able to bring in guests and talk to them, just like you're doing with me now. And the on-screen little controls, really, I think you're going to see through this broadcast some of the things that we do on our broadcast that you're likely going to be doing on yours.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Listen, I just want to give you, it's a fascinating story, and I've been following it, as you know, intensely for 12 hours a day. for the last week. But I know you're doing this because you're also creating a new community. I don't even know what it is. Tell me about Mission City TV. Is it a TV station, or what is Mission City TV?
Oh, to call it TV, well, until Helen came along and put the two of us together, the concept was to simply have a website. It was like Mission City website. And the idea was to create links that point to various existing video content on the web that's already posted, stuff that we've gathered in the local community events, that sort of thing. And then allow people just to click on them and see, what's been going on. An old kind of newspaper that people can watch at their leisure.
Sure.
With what we've discovered here with face-to-face is that now we can do a live insert, and at a scheduled time where we've got the manpower to devote to this, we can give here's what's happening in Mission today. Here's what are the interesting videos that we put up recently.
Yeah.
And at the same time, invite viewers back to talk with us, to let us know what's on their mind. What do they want us to dig into? What are their comments on what we're showing there now?
Wow.
It's not a text in, like right now on this broadcast, in addition to what we're doing with the two talking heads here,
yeah.
we've got the chat here. That's nice, but being able to say, hey, Alex, how's the coffee? And know in live time that you and I are talking. Okay, this is me not having enough words, and people that know me know that I have enough words. So yeah, I'm so grateful for what you've added for extra dimension to this. We're at the very beginning of something really that's going to really cool.
Especially, and it feels like the types of things you're trying to do with Mission City TV, of bring your community together and engaging your community. This is a way of bringing all those people into the same room together with the politicians or the planners or whatever topic or issue is out there, the hummingbirds, whatever's out there in the community. The community can come together around the same story, and it's great to see you embracing it. And
I sorry to interrupt there. I just noticed when I'm looking at mine that I've got an earpiece on here, and I don't want the viewers to think, oh, you need an earpiece to make this thing work. I'm using earpiece so I can hear on my live feed my Helen cam, and I'll just take this down and almost look presentable. Anyway, you started talking about what you can do with using face-to-face. I'm active in the community, and one of the things that I find that's coming out of the ground, like many of the new technologies. In fact, it's the technology that allows us to do this are what are called electronic or 21st century town halls. It allows grassroots people, the yous and me's, to be able to get together, understand what issues face a community or a corporation or any group, put the heads together, and let everybody's voice be heard as much as we're all around one big round table. And this type of technology allows the evolution of that another step further, because the 21st century town halls take a lot of equipment, a lot of setup, large venues to bring all the people in. And with an electronic video 21st century town hall, you can look at the person across the desk, or they could be anywhere in the world, so long as we've got a common interest.
Yeah.
And I can look at their faces to see that if I've offended them or not in live time. I mean, when you're in conversation with anybody, that's what's cool about this. You can see my eyes gaze down because I'm looking away from the camera down at your face. You're nodding and smiling.
Yeah.
And when you're communicating, it's not just voice. It's a large part of it is body language.
Yeah.
And with like a 21st century town hall, you get the people together, you get real meaningful discussion, and then our voices combine, and the people that are governing us say, whoa, this is exactly what it is. These are not people that are without information to provide their opinions to us, and it shortens the distance between the governing bodies and the people that they're governing.
Yeah.
We've got a real voice, and it becomes a compelling voice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one aspect of what face-to-face can do for us.
It's beautiful. Well, thank you. Listen, there's some people out there that Dominic has been waiting. I think we've seen Dominic for last week, but I'm going to see if Dominic, I can bring him in, and maybe he wants to say hello to you and say hello to Helen. So, Dominic, I'm going to take a second for your cameras. Hey, Dominic.
I don't know. The voice is already
Yes, we can hear you just fine. You're coming. We're calling from where? All right. So, where are you today? Are you in Kenya? Is the same as you were last week? That's great. Wow. 26? 20. Yeah, we would. Yeah. Wow, good. Well, listen, it's great to see you again. Did you have a question for Tim? Did you get a chance to? Did you get a chance to see the hummingbird?
Yeah, I did. In fact, just my wife saying we have hummingbird that comes in our office and once in the so one window.
Yep.
You can actually, I'm trying to get a video for it and send it. That's a fantastic thing.
Well, that's great. That's great. Listen, I want to keep rolling with the show, and Dominic, I'm so pleased that you keep showing up because it's great to see your face.
I hope one day.
Yes, in person. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would love to get to Kenya. It's a part of the world that I have not yet been to, and I've been in Africa twice now, but both times in South Africa, and the continent just captivates me. I just would love to spend some time there. So, well, good. Well, listen, I'm going to say goodbye to both of you guys. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to run through some slides for to show other people how they can use this, and we'll see you again next week, I hope, on Tuesday afternoon and Thursday morning. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Don. And Tim, you're the man. Talk to you soon. All right, welcome back, and thanks to those guys. Yeah, Norris, I see you're having some trouble. I've got your email. You and I can touch base and try this out a little bit later. I'm not sure what the issues are. I hope everyone else is enjoying this experience. Let me roll forward. So I've got some of the other slides here. Mission City TV is Tim's new venture, along with Chris Lindgren, and they're going to be using all kinds of latest technologies to try to bring their community together and around not only Helen, right, but around all of the issues that they've got in their community. So let's keep rolling. You've heard me say this before, but we think that this is all about communication and connection, and like the old days of being around a campfire, that was the best time to be able to tell a story as a storyteller and as the audience. You were, as Tim mentioned, you're seeing each other's faces, you're seeing each other's body languages, you're hearing all the nuances in the voice, you're dealing with in real time. That's clearly the best way for us to communicate, and as we roll forward, pardon me, through time, we find that still we as humans come together around the virtual campfire, like the boardroom table or the coffee table amongst our families, to wrestle with the issues of the day and come up with solutions. That's the best way. But along the way, as our populations have grown, it's been, we've had to start to use technology in order to bring us all together in different ways, and that has its advantages and its disadvantages, which I want to talk about briefly. Let's keep going. The biggest disadvantage as you're using technology is that online interaction disappears as your audience grows. My ability to see my audience, to communicate with my audience, and them with me gets weaker and weaker the larger that the audience size grows. So that you can see here, as soon as that thing goes, that my audience size is from very small to very large, and my quality of interaction goes from worst to best. And as I roll forward, you can see that if I've got a very small audience, and I'll put this up here for you so you can see the whole thing. When we have a very small audience and we're using tools like FaceTime or Duo, that's clearly the best kind of interaction. You know, they're right on your phone, they're right there. Latency is good, quality of video and audio is great. And then as the audience size grows, even to get to 10 people or 15 or 20, then we start to just have to make trade-offs with latency, with, well, we got to download stuff, we got to, right? There's a bunch of things that go on here that make the experience less effective. And then when we get into larger crowd sizes of 100, 200, 500, and we start to use tools like GoToWebinar, now there's a real separation. Me as a presenter, I cannot see my audience without some terrific difficulty. But I really can't see them. So there's a line there. And as I keep going forward into Periscope, Twitch, YouTube Live, YouTube Live is not really live. There's a delay of 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds or more between what I'm saying and what I'm trying to present and when the audience is receiving it. So the audience is actually receiving my message and my visuals in the past by 30 seconds. Well, there's no way that you can successfully bridge that particular gap. And then as you keep going on to TV, very large audiences, but absolutely no ability to communicate. And what face-to-face broadcasting wants to do is to deliver the best quality of interaction regardless of the audience size. So bring on 1 million people and have the audience able to come in and go out from wherever in the world they happen to be. As you just saw, we had Mission, BC, and then we had Kenya, both talking to me at the same time. So let's just get back here. So at the root of what we do, these are the core values. Our core values are all around communication. We believe communication leads to understanding, and then those two lead to collaboration. And that's the only way that we have ever been able to solve our problems and look after the opportunities that are in front of us. And now the world it's smaller and bigger, right? And we're further flung apart, and yet the issues that are facing us are affecting us. They're affecting Kenya just as much as they're affecting Victoria. And so we are all connected. So we need to have the communication tools that allow us to come together. So that's the first thing that we firmly believe that's what we're delivering with face-to-face. And accessibility, we want to make this thing accessible not only on every browser, every platform, everywhere, but we also want to make it accessible from a cost perspective. We want this to be free so that if someone has something to say and they want to get out to an audience of 1 million people, we don't think that it should have to cost them anything for them to be able to do that. If you've got an audience and you've got something important, you should be able to say it. And so what we're trying to offer here is to some degree, it's kind of TV in a box. Just get your machine, get your camera, go live, and in our audience. And what we also want to do is we also want to provide economic support to people who are using this. So there's lots of people who are getting creative and using video and communications in ways that were never before imagined. And these people are able to make money off that. So we want to support them. We want to make sure that they have the ability to generate revenue from their particular audience. So those are the three things that we as Face-to-Face live by on a daily basis. This is an artist rendition of the experience that you've just had. You're seeing the host, and you're seeing some guests coming in. And then if you want to join the broadcast, you simply have to click that orange button. And I'm going to bring a couple of people in a little later in the show. We're queued up. And if you want to join the show and chat with me about any of this stuff, then just click that join broadcast button that's somewhere down there, just underneath me. When you do that, when you click that join broadcast button, or if you're a broadcaster and somebody clicks the join broadcast button in your audience, then they show up in a guest queue. So this is exactly what I see just down here. Is I've got people that are lined up wanting to come into the show. And so then all I have to do is just drag and drop them in, literally drag and drop them into the show. So this is how it looks kind of conceptually. When you start a new broadcast, whether it's a meeting or a classroom or a town hall meeting, it doesn't matter what it is. When you start a new meeting, you create this virtual room. You're on stage and you've got a live audience. And you can bring your live audience onto the stage with you instantly. But at the same time, what you can do is you can also take that entire presentation and you can at the same time send it out into YouTube Live and into Facebook Live and other places as well that we'll be adding. And I've cheekily put CNN up there, but for sure things like Vimeo to be able to record your broadcast, that type of thing. And again, back to the types of things you might want to do with face-to-face. You might just want to have a meeting where there's 3 or 4 people who need to just chat about something. So just, someone starts a meeting, shares that link, and everyone is just instantly, they just click that link if you send it off by email, and or by Twitter, and they just click the link and bang, they're into the room, just like that. You can create virtual classrooms, which I do. I did a lot of last year, and I'm going to be using face-to-face this year. Had started to use it last year as well, with rooms of 30 or 50 or 100 students, all of whom you want to be able to hear you, but you also want those students to be able to come back in the room and ask their questions and talk with you about the ideas that they're having and the ideas that you're trying to teach them, right? So virtual classrooms are critically important to us. Webinars, once you start getting into larger rooms, whether you're trying to, again, explain something or teach something or sell something, you want to get into larger rooms that are 100 people, 500, 1,000, 5,000 people. Well, that is ridiculously expensive right now. To create using webinar software can cost thousands of dollars a month to support groups like that. So what we want to do, and again, the experience is significantly lacking. We want you to be able to do that without having to pay any money. Tim was talking about town halls. Get 10,000 people in the community to talk with the politicians, with the leadership about the issues of the day. Entertainment, interviews, newscasts. There's all kinds of things you can start to do as you start to think about TV and what's going on in TV. Can you bring some of those things into a broadcast like this and then bring your audience in, right, to talk about what's going on? And there's other things, I'm sure, lots of things that I'm sure I haven't thought about. But as you think about the historical ways, you always had to make a choice between the quality of the interaction and the size of the audience that you wanted, and you have to make a choice. And we believe that that's a false choice. We believe that you should be able to just use one tool for free and get access to use it in any way that you want. And so here's how to use it. If you want to do a broadcast or a meeting or a town hall meeting or something like that, just simply come to f2f.live and you will see this screen right here. And then to go live, all you have to do is, there's 2 steps. You click here to say start a broadcast, and you'll be immediately in this room right here. right? So you'll be immediately in this room. You'll see yourself, and you'll be able to, you'll see some buttons down the side here, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And I've been clicking those buttons to change the view. And then if you're happy with the way your room looks, you look around the room, you make sure that it's okay. All you do then is you just click go F to F. And as soon as you do that, you're now live to as many people as you can fit into your virtual room, which is unlimited. And here's what the buttons do. We'll roll around here and we'll show you what these buttons will do, okay? At the very top, you got a mic button, just turn on or off. Then you got a camera button, turn that camera on or off, just like what I'm gonna do here. I'll just roll over here and I'll turn my camera off. You can still hear my mic, and then I'll turn my camera back on. That's exactly what that does. Back to here, you can select a screen to share if you're wanting to run a slide deck like I'm doing right now, or if you want to run a video, which I did earlier. Anything you want that's running on your computer, you can present that to your audience. Then there's some layout buttons, 6 layout buttons, which allow you to just present the people that are on your screen in different ways. And you saw me going Tim and I beside each other, and then Tim on a slightly smaller screen, right? So that's Tim and I beside each other, Tim and I on a slightly smaller screen right there, just me by myself right here. Tim is still on, and I can bring him back in just by simply clicking here. He's still on. I can still hear him. He can still hear me. We've just taken him off the screen for a minute because I wanted to be able to look you right in the face. And then I can bring them back on by just clicking this button again. And then if I have decided to share something, I can click on these buttons right here. And you've seen me do that, and you'll see me do it again. So now you know why when I'm getting into this view right here, which is what we're on right now, I've got a slide, and I'm in at the top corner, and I can get rid of myself here by clicking that button and just showing the particular slide to get out of the way. Other buttons. At the top, it will show you how many viewers you've got. Then it tells you that you're broadcasting live. Below that, you can start and stop the streaming to your YouTube live channel. So that's what I'm doing right now, is streaming this directly into YouTube live, which is where it'll also be recorded for posterity. And if you want to go to Mission City TV in their YouTube channel, they've got hours of Helen the Hummingbird and her 2 babies. You want to end the broadcast at any time, you just click down here. And then where am I right now? Yeah, so you've got guests who would like to join the show. They show up here. You just simply click, drag, and drop them into the middle. And then when they're there, you can drag them off. So you are able to just drag them off the show when your interview with them has ended. And they can also leave the show at any time. So if someone joins the show, they should be able to leave the show for whatever reason, and they can also do that as well. The equipment that you need is really, really straightforward. I'm using a basic iMac, 4 years old, with just 8 gigs of RAM, nothing special, stock, absolute stock. What I do recommend that you do is check out your camera, because the standard Mac cameras on the old machines and for old computers, they don't capture enough light and they don't capture enough frames, so that things don't look so smooth. So I'll show you. Let me just change my camera here for you to the. So I've just done that right now. Oops, there we are. So what you can see now is probably a little more blurry, and you can see it's a little darker. So it makes for a bit. It still works, but it looks as if you're getting synchronization issues with your mouth, that type of thing. So what I like to do is I've got this $1 US camera, which is it's a Logitech C920, and it just grabs more frames per second. It uses more light, and it just looks a bit better. So if you're going to be doing this on a regular basis, then spend the $50 US, or I think it's $70 Canadian. You can get them in London Drugs or online, of course. That's really it. And then you want to make sure you're using a browser that works well. So for a broadcaster, best to use Chrome. You can use Firefox and Opera, but they don't allow you to do some of the things with regard to sharing of your local video and other assets. So Chrome is best for that. Your audience can be using Chrome, Firefox, and Opera. It's got to be right now. It can't be on an iPad or an iPhone. And the reason is that Apple, being Apple, doesn't support other people's protocols. And so some of the things that everyone else supports, Apple does not yet. And so we'll be building the mobile apps to support the Apple platforms over the summertime. And then these browsers won't work. So for Safari, IE, and Edge they don't have the modern protocols support yet, although they're getting there. And I imagine Edge will be there. I don't think IE will be, but Edge will get there, we think, in the next couple of months. All right, I see Ellen McDowell's on, and she's saying that she loves her 920 as well. Okay, what else have I got for you? Oh, the other thing is that we'll soon be offering is if you are interested in using face-to-face to generate an income from whether you're teaching or whether you're doing something entertaining or whatever, we'll soon give you the ability to create donate and subscribe and buy buttons so that you just basically set those up, say, yeah, I want to put a donate button on there, and it should be from, starting at $5 to $500, and then that's it. We'll handle all that stuff for you, and your audience can donate if they like what you're doing. You can subscribe or they can buy something. So we'll have that happening again very shortly. We're working on a lot of things right now. All right, I'm going to bring on some other people in just a sec, but just to wrap this up, face-to-face broadcasting is unlimited audience size, ultra low lag. I mean, this is better most cases than Skype, than your best Skype call in terms of the lag. I was on the phone with Oxford on the phone. I wasn't on the phone. I was using F2F face-to-face broadcasting to talk to someone in Oxford yesterday, to Chris in Oxford, England. And you might have seen Chris last week because I brought him on, and he was sitting beside someone from Louisiana, and he was just blown away by how natural it felt to him. And he uses all the other technologies. Instant audience participation, as you've seen. You just bring someone in, browser-based, easy to use, and the highest quality self-correcting audio visual. What we're trying to do is to monitor each of the connections. If we get 1 million people, we're monitoring every connection, and we're trying to make sure that we're balancing the audio and the video as the connections are better or worse. And some people, for example, I was talking to someone yesterday, and there was a little bit of feedback started at their end. And we just waited it out, and 6 seconds later it corrected itself. So that's what we're trying to do is, regardless of what you're using, we want to make sure you can participate in whatever broadcast or meeting or town hall or anything that you're trying to use. And then the production tools, the ability for me live to be able to do this type of thing. To be able to do this type of thing, to show things, to take things away, to zoom in, to zoom out. These are tools that normally you have to go into post-production. You've got to shoot your video, and then you go into post-production, and you do this stuff. And now you can do it absolutely live. And as I bring people in, which I'm going to do in just a second, Murray's out there. Murray, get ready. You're about to come in. But as I bring Murray in, you'll watch it. The screen will automatically orient itself. Here, when I put the slide on, I'm going to move over. You see that my image moved over in order to support the slide that was coming in. And then when I turn that slide off, it'll automatically move back. When Murray comes in, it'll move me over again. So all this is happening automatically just by clicking a button in your browser. And then finally, and this is the best news of all, is that we intend to deliver and continue to deliver all the 80 or 90% features to you for absolutely free. There will be some things that will be, for example, a television station or super high quality broadcaster may want, and that we may charge them for. But for you to use this, we want you to be able to use it now and use it for nothing. All right, so let me get rid of this slide, and let me see if Murray's out there. Murray, you are coming in. Dude! Okay, I can't hear your mic, Murray, so is there something you can do to turn on your mic? Or unplug your headset, because you've probably got a mic on your computer. You don't have a mic on your computer. Okay, is there a microphone button at the top of your, on the top that side? It should be orange and white. This is live at the best. Now, he can hear me, I can see it, you can hear, absolutely. And I would love to, I can't hear you, Murray. Yeah, Anyway, Murray is in Victoria, so close by, but you think that him being close to me actually is a benefit to the presentation, and it's not. It's not a benefit at all, because what's happening with my signal is going into face-to-faces. Yeah, we'll do it later, but right now, let me just have you here, because I can see you're live, you're looking good, and yeah, exactly, there you go. And so my signal is going into New York. Murray's signal is going into New York, where it's being combined and then coming back to the rest of the world. So even though Murray is in Victoria, like probably I could throw a stone, maybe not throw a stone, but he's that close. You saw also that we had Kenya in, and we've had Louisiana in last week, and Oxford, UK. None of that matters, and we should all be able to see and hear each other at exactly the same time. Latency is so low. So listen, Murray, thank you for trying it. You and I will do this maybe a little later this morning, and I'm going to pull you out of the show. So I'm just going to pull Murray out and watch what happens to the screen. The screen just slightly adjusts. Murray is back in my queue. He can still see and hear me uninterrupted, and next time he comes in, we'll be able to see and hear him. All right. Is there anyone else out there that's got a question? I am happy to take any questions, either if you want to pop into the queue just by clicking join the broadcast, or if you want to type your question into chat. I've got a slide here just to start to wrap things up. So it's real-time interaction with up to 1 million people for free. We think we've got the real-time and interaction and free stuff done. And now it's up to you to get out there and start to talk to your communities in the way that makes sense to you. And Ellen, we'll get your question in a sec. So what to do next after this? You're going to get a feedback button. I'd love to see your feedback. We use it. We are watching. We're reading everything. We want to make this thing as best as it possibly can be. So send us feedback. Use it right now. Go to www.f2f.live and just say start a broadcast. Follow us. It would be great if you would follow us on Twitter. I would love you to go to look up F2F Space Broadcasting on our YouTube channel and subscribe there. It'd be awesome. And then over the course of the next few months, we're going to slowly start to build a show that we hope is going to get us to 1 million people who want to demonstrate live, a 1 million person show. So that's how you can help us. Ellen, question. Let me just turn off the slide deck there. Can I set the custom URL a couple of days in advance? Right now you can't. However, in 2 days or so, we'll have the ability for you to be able to reserve your own room that you'll be able to own forever. So you'll come in, you'll say, start a broadcast, and then it says, what room do you want to use? And you'll say the Ellen McDowell or whatever room name you want, and then that will be your name forever. And no one else will be able to take that away from you. So that'll be around in 2 or 3 days. I know it's a little, it's the #1 request right now, and it'll be there. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? Okay, well, I'll wait around another second or so. Let's drink my tea. By the way, let me know on the chat or in the or afterwards on the feedback. You know, how was the quality of the audio and the video? I know that when Tim was on, it seemed to me that there's a couple of times where there's seen some lag in his audio and video, and he's using on the same computer. He's also running the Mission City TV broadcast. And then he was using the same TV and the same camera to come in and talk to us. So I think that was part of what was going on. Ellen, we do have an issue. Where do you send that info? I'm not seeing it. Yeah. So in the next couple of days, you'll see a feedback button at the bottom. But as soon as I stop this broadcast, which I'm going to do in about 30 seconds, you'll see a place for putting feedback. So if there's no other questions, other than Tim's broadcast, the audio and visual, fine. Thanks, Adam. Yeah. And Adam, is that Adam in New York? Because, dude, do I ever want to get you back on here? No, Arlington, Texas. Okay. What are you doing in Arlington, Texas, Adam? Okay, when I finish, I get a thumbs up, but I don't think I see a place to add notes. Oh, Ellen, I hate to say this, but you're right. So Ellen says, when the show ends, I get these 2 options, thumbs up or thumbs down, and I really like the show, so I gave it a thumbs up, but then I don't get an opportunity to send feedback. So I hate to say this, but give us a thumbs down, and you'll have the opportunity to give us feedback. We'll be adding the feedback mechanism for the thumbs up as well. That'll go out in the next day or so on the next release. So if you want to leave us feedback, give us a thumbs down. We'll know you still love us, but then you have an opportunity to tell us what you think. All right. I'm doing quality and safety where I work. So do you think, Adam, that this would be useful to you, using face-to-face broadcasting? And again, I'm talking to Adam, but you can see what he's saying in chat. And if Adam wanted how to minimize the chat, Rocky, that's a great question. We don't have the ability to minimize chat right now, but you can maximize your screen. If you hover over my face, you'll see down in the lower right corner, you'll see the ability to maximize the screen. And I think that gets rid of chat. Our home is in Italy, says Adam. So this would be a great tool to communicate with them. That's right. So long as they speak English or you speak Italian, right? So we can't help with the on-the-fly translation yet, although it's something that we're actually looking into. It's a very, very interesting, very, very interesting. Well, Adam, I hope you use it. Give it a shot and try it out with Italy. I think you'll like it. I think it'll work for you. And then just shoot me a note, and you all got my email address, so shoot me a note and let us know. Let me know what you think. Okay, I think I'm going to. Okay, I fixed my mic. Murray, I am going to see if you can come in. Okay, we'll see if you're Murray. No. No, I can't hear you yet. We'll talk later. See ya. And just to show you, by the way, just to show you what we can do with Murray. So we can look at him like this. So I can look at him like this. I think he's over here, right? Is he over there or is he over there? Maybe he's over there. I get a little disoriented myself. But there's Murray there. Just by clicking a button, we can bring Murray up. We can see him there. I can get out of the way. Murray, if his mic was working, he could be telling us his life story right now. We'll get that for next time. Because I want to hear his life story. Again, I can come back in. We can do things like this. And I say, Murray, good to see you. And I can pull him out of the show like that. And he can still see and hear me. He's available for the next time that we want to bring him in. All right. Thank you all for showing up. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button right now. And next week, we've got you want to book a mark either Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific or Thursday morning, or both, Thursday morning at 10 a.m. because about Mark Stoiber on. Mark is a fascinating guy who does, what does Mark do? He basically he's in communications. And he's got a lot of things going on right now, including some DIY stuff, some do-it-yourself stuff on how to write speeches, how to present. And for a guy like me who has never taken any of that kind of training, boy, do I ever want to talk to Mark. So Mark, reserve that space. I'll send you an email, reserve that space, and then share it with other people. Come on and talk to Mark next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, or Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific. And if you got questions, feel free to come on. And I think he's probably going to give some stuff away. So that's next week. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to your feedback. Remember, say thumbs down, give us some feedback, and I'll see you next week, Tuesday afternoon.